It's from my new book,
What's it called?
Kondalunu.
Tell me about it.
Well, Kondalunu is an ancient scripture that was once written by a man known as Guru Hamasen. And the thing about Guru Hamasen is that he always speaks truly. Never once has a word been uttered from his mouth that was false. There is no such thing as a falselyhood to him. When he first wrote the Kondalunu, it was 1802.
Guys, welcome to Dynamic Banter. This is the podcast where going on.
Mike is weird as hell.
I mean, in what way?
I just like, I don't, everything, whenever I'm talking to him, I'm laughing.
Yeah.
But I'm like, what do you do when you're not here? What are you doing?
You think he's got a weird life
Yeah.
that we don't know about?
I honestly feel like Mike Falzone goes like, he does his little stand-up comedy shows, and he goes to the back room and just keeps eating melatonin gummy bears.
You think he's got a vice that we don't know about?
Yeah, melatonin gummy bears.
What the fuck are melatonin gummy bears?
It's this shit you can get at Target, and it makes you go to sleep.
Really?
Yeah. But they're like, oh, it's not as bad as these other drugs, but I bet you it is.
Listen, Mike Falzone is a good man.
Yeah, honestly.
He's a great man.
He's a real man.
He didn't tell me he was going on his motherfucking honeymoon. Pissed off at you about something, and I respect that.
I love myself. A mean, aggressive woman. My mom is a very mean, aggressive woman. She's the yeller of the household.
Can we give your mama 2-horn honk?
Yeah. And actually, let me give her 2-horn honk, too. Mommy? I love you. That's just what I want her now.
Is your mom listening? Is she a fan of
No, my mom
Dynamic
doesn't
Banter?
listen to anything I say. I don't think
Does she
anymore.
listen to podcasts? Do you think your mom listens to podcasts?
No.
If your mom, what subject matter would it have to be for your mom to get into
I think
a
I
podcast?
got it. I think I'd have to be talking about the church. Maybe I should get on a church
I'm talking about
podcast.
just in general. Like, what kind of podcast that exists? Because there's a
for her
podcast
just
for
to
everything.
listen to one.
Yeah.
Oh.
What subject matter
I
would
think
get her interested in podcasts?
The issue with her and many baby boomers is that it's too deep in the phone. My mom couldn't go that deep in the phone
yeah.
to get to a podcast.
It's like, you're right. It's like when someone at the top of when you're in the restaurant and you're in a fancier restaurant and you're like, excuse me, sir, where's the restroom? And they're like, you're going to go down those stairs, you're going to go to the left, and then you're going to make an immediate right. And then it's going to look like a ballroom. You're going to go past that room. You're going to go all the way down the hall, and then you're going to make a left, and those are the bathrooms.
Exactly.
And there's no way in hell you're going to remember that. Ever. So you're on an adventure.
Yeah, I remember I used to not use public restrooms, and that was a part of it. Like, I don't like to be in potential situations where I can't get to the bathroom.
Yeah. And you got a pee-pee problem.
Yeah, I got
maybe you got diabetes.
Problems. You know, sometimes I think that because like
possible.
I probably exercise too much and don't eat enough. So if I got diabetes, I'm gonna be pissed.
When was the last time you got your blood work done?
Honestly, it's been a minute since I've had my blood work done. I'm bad at going to the doctor. Yeah. I'm afraid that he's gonna give me news.
I know, man. That's the biggest problem I have with doctors. Is like, I know I have shit. Like, I know I likely have the thing that's gonna kill me already happening in my body.
Yeah.
And I don't want to find it.
I
want it to be too late. I want the way that I go is like gonna be one of those stories where, like, fuck, if he had just gone to the doctor,
right?
He could have gone through all those painful surgeries, and he would have been bedridden for months, and he would have gone all those procedures, and family would have. Oh man, if he had just gone through all that pain and torture, he'd be alive right now.
Yeah, I don't know. When I was I thought I had AIDS for 22 years.
What the fuck, Will?
Okay, let me tell you why.
What the fuck?
When I was 12, I don't know. It's just a weird anxiety thing.
By the way, we're 7 minutes into this podcast, and our guest host today is William Haynes.
Oh, hey, what's up, y'all? So when I was 12, my parents sent me to like day camp. And I go home at night, but it was day camp, and all the kids.
And were you sharing needles?
No. I've never put a needle in me because I'm smart. And we went to a lake. I couldn't swim. I'd never been to anything like this before. And I remember I took I wasn't gonna swim, so I just walked to the shallow part of the water, and I got a cut on my foot, and it started bleeding just a little bit.
Shit.
And I was like, there are 100 kids in this water. One of them's got AIDS. I just got AIDS too. So for years, in the back of my head, I was like, you know what? I probably got AIDS.
So you just lived comfortably with the fact that you had AIDS.
Yeah, and I was like, and it stopped. I was like, okay, that means I don't need to do any like sex having. I'm just gonna focus on my shit.
You took care of some problems by having AIDS.
Yeah, and until I was 22, and then my girlfriend at the time was like, let's get an AIDS test. And I was like, you're absolutely right, or just a test in general.
Oh, and you did that.
And I did, and they were of course like, you're good. And then I was like, oh,
were you scared?
Yeah, but it's so irrational. Like,
yeah.
and I didn't really think that, but that was just a thought in the back of my head, for 22 years.
Let me ask you this question: Did they stick a cotton swab into your penis?
Yeah. No. I went into a bunch of this room and like they took a bunch of different types of blood out of me and like fusion.
They didn't put anything inside your penis.
No, they didn't put anything in my dick. The funny part is though, the other reason I went to the doctor that day.
I guess they only put something in your dick if you're like, man, when I pee, there's like an itch.
Yeah.
Or like, I've got this pungent aroma around my penis.
Itch. That would suck so much. I went to the doctor that day because I thought I had an enlarged prostate.
I mean, that could happen.
The doctor was like, "You're stupid." I kept telling him, "I need you to check." I was like so ready. I was like, "Just give me the prostate exam." But he was like, "You're too young. It's not likely."
What made you think that? You had like a pressure?
I think I just always worried about the worst possible
hypochondriac,
scenario.
Man.
Yeah, about everything in life. Yeah, I remember when I was a kid. I think it was I was 16. I had to go to this party. I was so excited because this is of the 5 parties I went to in high school, and my dad was gonna drive me and my friend Martin, and I had to write out the directions off of Google Maps.
Sure.
And I remember I just wrote, and then right, and then left, and then right, and then left, and I didn't write where to go right and left. And so we got in the car and we pulled out he was like, I wrote the first one.
You didn't write any other information other than the direction to turn in.
Yeah, not when you turn, not when you do it. And like, that's when you have kids. And it's like, my dad should have been like, he's like, but you're like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I would be so upset, but like, whatever. Okay.
I mean, what do you do? Like, nowadays, there's no worry. There's nothing to worry about because we have our phones and everybody else has a phone. And if you don't have access to a phone, you can get someone else's phone. There is every possible way in the world for you to get back on track because of technology. But back in the day, like, you had to just trust your friend was going to be at this place to pick you up at 5:00 p.m. And you just had to trust that they were going to be there. There was no way for you to call and say, what's your ETA? Text, are you almost here? You just had to trust someone's word that they were going to fucking be there on time.
And if something goes wrong, I feel like that's kind of fucked up movies because now it's like, why don't you just call?
Yeah.
Like, why don't you just text? Because the plot to most things in life is if something's wrong, it's because there's no communication.
Yeah.
And like
old movies have that problem.
Yeah. They're usually like, oh, well, we can't get to Jensen.
Dude, I just watched this classic film called Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. Have you heard of this movie?
I heard of one. I think the sequel was Whatever Happened to Sarah.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. You don't remember the sequel?
Different things.
Yeah.
And nobody knows who's right.
I think to me, what I've learned is I got to know what I know. And surround myself with people who know what they know.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah,
but that doesn't really solve the problem. It just keeps you surrounded by people who think the way you do, and then you get things like the KKK.
The KKK, yeah, the KKK. No, but I was talking to a friend of mine recently about how like the KKK people are terrible. They do terrible things, but what I respect them for is the fact that they admit that they're racist. I'm like, thank you so much.
Wow, that's great.
For just keeping it real. Because so many people are like, I'm not racist. What does that even mean? What is a racist? They're like, yeah, we don't like black people. Yeah. So like, thank you for that honesty. It's like, y'all can't say they're liars. I mean, I'm sure they lie about a bunch of other shit.
Hate that, like, I don't like it that you can just look at someone and then just be like, that person looks different, so I'm gonna not be their friend, and they're inferior to me.
I don't know. I think about I've been thinking too much about insane people lately. It's killing me. I keep trying to understand and rationalize it. But like, some people are different. I don't know. It seems to come that they were raised that way, and their parents taught them to believe such negative things. It's never too late. Like I was just watching that Johnny Cash Hurt video last night. You know,
That's
when he's
the
like,
saddest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's dying.
He's like definitely dying.
Yeah, he's
in that
dying.
video.
Yeah, and that's why it's so incredible, and it's like wet. When I call songs that I like wet, it's like wet with emotion because like he's on his way out, and that's I think that's my dream. I desperately want to be an old man doing this. Like if you think about Bernie Sanders, strip him of all politics. Strip him of all politics.
Yeah.
Pretend he agrees with you. I was just like, he's really like an old ass man, still trying to do this.
Yeah.
He really ran for president that old, and he knew people were gonna say he was old, and he really yelled at the top of his lungs.
And he's still out there right now. He lost, and he's still fucking pushing.
Yeah. I just
it's very respectful.
My dream is to be an old man like that, and I just, with all my might, I hope that people allow me to do that. I hope people allow me to keep going.
I think you'll be able to do it. I mean, look, you are in control of that. I feel like, and you know, I don't think anybody can stop you from doing that.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think I realized that was my goal. I've been feeling really goalless lately, and I think that's what's been giving me anxiety.
Important. I almost was taking you under my comedy wing a little bit.
Yeah, because I think about it like, people don't know I used to be a quiet person.
Yeah.
Until I met you. Like, if you go back home to all the people in Richmond, they're all like, Will was a quiet person. But now I go in rooms just like yelling sometimes.
Yeah, but dude, you had this, and you still do have this kind of natural, I don't give a fuck kind of attitude that you always just had. Like, even as a quiet Will, even as your shy quiet Will that I remember first meeting, you still had this like fearless, I'm gonna say something out loud in this room full of people, and I don't care what anybody says, or I'm gonna literally go over to that stranger and just start talking to them. And to me, it's like, even for me, it takes a little bit of like pumping up in my head to do it. And for you, it just seemed like you literally don't care about the consequences, and you just fucking go for it.
Yeah, I feel like, honestly, like, I don't know, sometimes you just gotta say how you feel.
Yeah.
And I feel, and I've been upset with him lately, but I admire Kanye. Have you seen those clips of him where he just went on TV and said whatever?
No, I mean, was this a while back?
Yeah, like when he was like during the Hurricane Katrina.
Isn't he like not okay right now?
Yeah, he's probably not okay. But what I admired about him is the fact that who cares what he said? He felt it, and he took a publicly viewed thing to express how he felt. Right. Like, I felt like I kind of do that sometimes. Like when I met Trump and I told him how I really felt. Like, just sometimes when you have the opportunity to say how you feel, you should take it.
What was that like, meeting Trump, man?
Crazy. Honestly.
Do you think about it still?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it. Like, it's weird to say because, like, you know, Trump is obviously the type of person he is, but he helped me a lot in my life because I had never been encountered by, like, in anime terms, that was the big boss. Like, Trump is the big bad guy.
But at the time, was he? At the time,
yeah, he still was.
I feel like he was definitely a boss.
Yeah. He wasn't the biggest boss.
Like in a video game, like he's not he wasn't the biggest boss at the time, but he was definitely one of the main level bosses. Yeah. And like, he was terrifying and scary. Yeah. But like, I remember having this overwhelming feeling of, there's no way this guy's gonna be
I was like that too.
Maybe
that's why I said what I said to him. Like, but to me, at that moment, when I said to him, "What's your biggest issue with minorities right now?" I learned that you could say whatever the fuck you want to anybody, and I haven't worried about it since. And I'm thankful to him for that. But But
that experience must have been.
It changed my life. Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah. I don't think you respect me. Can I be honest with you? I don't think you respect me. I don't think you know who I am. You don't ponder on the love we've had for several years like I do.
I don't need you to promote your rap album on my podcast.
Please get The Rise for free on SoundCloud, on Spotify. What sucks is other people have the same name as both of my mixtapes. Other more popular rappers have projects of the same name.
Sure. Oh, do they really?
Yeah.
Because it's impossible. Everything has been used already.
Yeah, everything has been. Like,
pretty much.
I want to. That is truly my life's mission, though. My dad used to always say that when I was a kid, that every idea has been done before. Yeah. I want to find the one that's not. There's something new out there in the universe, and I want to find it.
Maybe there's something new, but I think it's more of like the combination of things has not been done. Like, you know, like no one has really ever, like, wanted to go. No one has asked for a tree bark sandwich at a restaurant.
What is a tree bark sandwich?
Literally what you think it is.
A tree bark sandwich. Okay.
A sandwich with tree bark in it. No one has ever gone to a Red Lobster and said, "Do you guys have tree bark sandwich?" No one. Okay. I guarantee no one's asked.
Maybe by accident. There was something on the menu that looked like the word tree bark.
Maybe.
And they just accidentally said tree bark, and the waitress laughed, and all the kids laughed.
Do you think someone's ever gone to McDonald's and asked for all of their mayonnaise?
Yes. I think McDonald's has had everything that can happen to it. McDonald's is like that. I'm not even going to go there.
What do you think is the weirdest thing someone's been asked for at McDonald's?
Something super personal. It's some guy works at McDonald's and he's really in love.
Do you have my baby blanket in there? No. I lost it when I was a baby. Do you have it back there?
Do you have my baby blanket?
Can you imagine going into McDonald's? Yeah, let me get that Big Mac, and I guess I'll get a soft drink too. Do you have my baby blanket
By
back
the way, baby blanket is such a good term because like a lot of people have baby blankets.
Did you have a baby blanket? You were like a Padawan. You were like a Jedi.
That's what people would say. I was a Jedi, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I'll take it. I'll be a Luke Skywalker.
There's a little bit of my baby hair in a baby book of mine at my mom's place. Isn't that weird?
Nah, we'll use it in the future.
Like, for what?
I don't know. We'll find a reason.
You know what, man? What if one day scientists are like, we figured it out. We've cracked the code to how to get rid of individual genetic defects. And it'll only work if you have hair from when you were a baby. We can remove proteins from that and use it to repair your body.
That could happen. I think you just did the most. You just said the most optimistic thing.
Yeah,
that can help you solve that disease you think you don't have.
Yeah. That's the only way to cure the real bad disease I currently have.
Wow. I'm not one of those either. Actually, though, I've always been like that. But so we were filming this. We were filming a deep dive in Hollywood, and so they saw us with these cameras, and there's these two dudes, and one of them was like, "Hey," and I was like, "All right, I'm ignoring this."
Oh man.
Like, hey. And I was like, so I looked at him. He said, "Shout me out on Instagram," because he saw we had all these cameras, so he assumed. And I was like, "Nah, I'm okay." And he said, "How many followers you got?" I said, "Hella." He's like, "Fuck your followers."
And then walked away.
And I walked away. So we're all laughing. And he's just still yelling at me like, "Fuck your followers, fuck you." And I was like, deep inside, I was like, I want to just yell. But I don't want to fight.
You want to get into like a yelling match.
I would love to get in a shouting match with
It's
somebody.
fun to yell. Yelling is really fun.
It is. I don't get to do it.
Do you remember that time Mackenzie and I were yelling at the old house all night and pissed everybody off?
Oh, that's why I can't live with you, Steve.
This history road comes from...
I love you, but I can't.
I get it, man. I'm a weird boy. This history road comes from Turd Town and at school before, so I was not aware of what was waiting for me. Will, you were a similar boy.
Yeah.
You didn't like pooping at work.
Oh, no. Yeah,
I poop all the time
had to
now?
it eventually, though. So I just like sometimes I don't want to do a vulnerable act like that in public.
I get it. It's very vulnerable. You can't do... sometimes it's scary to poop because you can't escape if you need to.
You got to let your guard down.
Yeah, you got to let your guard down. Because if you're mid-poop, you can't just cut it in half and run out of there.
No.
You're going to have problems later. We don't have Mike Falzone, but we do have William Haynes!
Okay, my main question, though, like, seriously, though, amidst all the things that are going on this week, like globally and at VidCon, does Taco Bell still write different stuff on the packets?
I think... This is the most important thing to you?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Right now?
Do they still do that?
Yeah, I mean, I think they do, like a biannual thing. What was that?
Nothing?
All right.
A biannual thing?
I think they do a biannual thing where they switch it out. Like when I don't even know when they first started doing it.
Yeah, right.
But they've been doing it for years and
years
and years.
You know the exact date.
I don't. I wish I did. I have a computer in front of me, though.
Yeah, right.
Taco Bell... packet sayings.
Isn't it cool that in the future you could find out anything you want? Except for some things.
When I was in school.
For you specifically, I think your trajectory, I think school is very important. I think that all kids should finish school except for my friend Steve.
Well, that's the thing. Like I hate admitting that I didn't graduate high school. I mean, it's not that I hate admitting it. I like being truthful about my life, but
I'm definitely not proud of it.
I'm not proud of it. And but the thing is like I will say that like for the line of work that I've always wanted to do, not like like learning like geography didn't really matter
for you specifically.
See,
but here's the thing: is anytime I talk to somebody who doesn't know you and like it wants to know you or thinks that you're super wacky, I have to explain to them that the thing is about you is you're not stupid.
No,
you're actually very intelligent.
I try. I mean, I try to. I mean, for the most part, I seem like an idiot.
Yeah, you seem like an idiot.
but I mean, it's true. I just try harder to not seem like an idiot now because I can't really get away with it anymore. I'm like 35 now.
You handle all of your adult things. Like all your bills are paid, all your stuff is
I have
fixed.
no credit problems. I have great credit.
Yeah.
I'm like it's really weird.
But people don't expect it. Like, this dude's wacky. Everything he does is. Like, I think everything that you get to be wacky about, you wackify it.
Yeah.
But the stuff that you're like, all right, I don't want to go to jail. You're like, all right, it's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's go do something crazy.
Yeah.
You and I were both like, no.
Yeah.
I don't want to hop the fence.
Yeah, no, I never did.
I don't want to do none of that stuff ever.
Like when Bree and I were first dating, there was this thing where we had to like climb over a brick wall or something to get to this thing. And Bree was like, let's just fucking do it. Like Bree has done this in her life. And she's done it way more than I have. And so she's like scaling the wall. And I'm like, I'm thinking in my head, like, this is where she's going to realize I'm just like a fucking dumb nerd, unathletic, and I'm not like, and I was like terrified, and I was like, I don't climb walls, and I never have, and I never climbed a tree. Like we had an avocado tree in my backyard, and I would climb it every once in a while, but there would be like a specific height where it felt safe enough,
and then
that was it. Wouldn't go any higher than that.
So that's smart. That's that logic.
Yeah.
I liked it recently when decided to. I just feel like everybody should have known SourceFed was about to shut down when we did the climb around the table challenge. We were like, what the fuck is it? What is this idea? I remember when I heard of that, I was like, this is the most dumb fuck idea we've ever done.
But it's one of the funnest videos,
honestly, that we've ever done. It's one of the funnest videos we've ever done. Yeah. It was so funny. But you were like, nah, I'm not doing this.
Oh, I'm not doing it. Yeah. I mean, I watched everyone do it, and I cheered them on. I was a cheerleader for everybody.
Yeah. But, yeah, I think to you logically, it's like, no, I understand what's gonna happen. Some people are like, I gotta go crash and fail and learn, but for us, we're like, my brain can fully see what's gonna happen, and I'm good.
But I probably would never ride a water slide, especially one of those like fucking gigantic ones where it's like 100 stories tall with like 900 loops and shit.
Well, I totally agree with you because I can't swim. So like whenever kids were like, let's go to Manteca water slides, I'm like, no, I don't want to do that ever. But like I agree with you. Like as of recent, like they're like, oh, let's go down a building on a slide. I'm just like, no.
What's with black people and swimming? Tell me about it.
Okay, here's the thing.
Give me the hot take.
My mom can't swim, so she was like, when you try to learn how to swim, I don't want you to because I can never go in there and save you. So she
said, don't even bother going in because I would not be able to save you.
So I feel like that mentality has passed on generation to generation, so none of us can swim. Yeah, that's why my mom was like, she was never like, I don't want a bigger house with a swimming pool so y'all can fall in it and drown. Like,
so she never enjoyed a pool.
No, never enjoyed a pool. Never wants to be in the water. So I feel the same way too. Like, I'm just like, I'm cool on pools.
But we went to, I think maybe it was a SourceFed video. I can't remember. But remember we went to the beach. The beach. Was that a video or was it just like a team building thing?
Danny was like, it's Pirate Day or something like that.
Oh yeah.
So we go to the beach.
It was like team building, right?
Yeah,
it was like let's all go together and have fun together.
It was one of the few times that there was not a camera around. It was just like we were just doing it, and we got in. So obviously, I'd never been in the ocean before.
Was that really the first time?
Yeah, it was the first time. Like I've been like my feet in, but that's about as far deep in. But you and I got in deep.
Oh yeah,
with a group of people,
and you were like, I was surprised how far you were willing to go. Like I think you were even like swimming sort of.
I guess I kind of had to be out that far. I'm pretty sure we held on to each other pretty much the whole time. But we were pretty deep in, and that was terrifying.
It's funny because like when I was a kid, my parents would take us to the beach. My brother and I to the beach all the time. Yeah. And my parents also had us in swimming classes and stuff. So we took a lot of swimming classes when we were kids. So
yeah, you fuck with the water.
Yeah, so I fuck with the water. But like when I was a kid, we would go to the beach. And you know what? Like even the deep end, always scared the shit out of me, man. Like even now, I'm like not into the deep end. Yeah. Like I really need to like work my way up to the deep end. So usually I'll just I'll get into any body of water that my feet can touch the ground and my head can stay above the water. Like I'm in it. Like you want me in it? I'm in it.
I'm in it.
But the beach, I remember going to the beach a lot as a kid and not really thinking about not really realizing how completely dangerous the ocean is.
Oh yeah,
it's a frightening death trap.
It's just like our planet, but the opposite.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, there's so many things in the ocean that can just destroy you and do terrible things. And it's like, I really I want my art to become legendary. I want to do things like James Cameron, who's like, you know what? I'm going to get in a submarine and
we're going to go look
at
the Titanic.
Fuck no. What are you talking about? Like, for what?
Yeah. Well, I don't know enough about his adventure into the deep ocean. Did he actually go in himself or did they take like a probe and he like piloted it or something?
Yeah, he was in, I think, a probe with like 2 other people. So he's one of
but he was like in there.
Yeah, he's one of less than 10 people who've been that deep down on the ocean floor. Just a bit much.
It's the ocean is it's this terrifying death trap.
Because if a giant thing came and ate you, they'd be like, oh yeah, now we know there are giant things down there, and just write that down.
I mean, and also like not even just the animals and stuff. Like the current can like pull you in, and like you're gone. Like there's a current that will literally pull you in like a fucking monster, and you will drown and die, and that's the end of your life.
Drowning and dying sounds like the worst thing. Even though I heard it's pleasant, they're like, then all the oxygen goes to your brain, and then it's kind of like, oh, this is what my life came to.
Imagine not being able to breathe and wanting to, and then taking a breath, and it's like water. That's a nightmare.
And then it would just hit you instantly.
Yeah, you're like,
I can't breathe.
I'm done.
Every time I try to breathe, it's going to be water. You have no energy to... Yeah, so drowning sounds like the worst.
It sounds like a fucking nightmare.
Listen, like, I forget. I saw some...
Yeah.
I've been, you know me in quite depressed parts of my life, and I was always like, I'm going to die young. But, like, I'm obsessed now with becoming old and still doing this.
Dude, I have, like, a date in my calendar that you said you'd be dead by. When we lived together, you're like, I'm going to be dead by this date.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to put it in my calendar.
Yeah. I remember that day, and I am not dead, and it has passed.
No, you're not. It's way past.
And that's when I feel like I started my second life, strangely. And I
you
feel
had
like
an awakening.
Yeah, and now I've been.
All right. Let's take a little journey here. Let's go through this list of all the ways. This is 10 ways the beach can kill you.
Okay.
Heat stroke.
Yeah. I believe in it. I know you can die of heat stroke.
You can die of heat stroke.
If you're a dog, like one of those Siberian Huskies or something, don't take him to the beach.
Oh, don't.
Heat stroke.
Don't leave him in the car.
Heat stroke.
Heat stroke sounds like a cool, like,
super
superhero.
Villain. Yeah. I think it's because Deathstroke is one.
Because of Deathstroke,
But heat stroke would be his brother. He was like, ooh.
Yeah.
You shoot with guns?
There probably is a heat stroke villain.
I know if you go on the Marvel wiki, they're like, oh, heat stroke. In 1959, Stan Lee had a wet dream and came up with heat stroke.
Let's see. Heat stroke. Yeah. Heat stroke. New Earth. DC database. Heat stroke was a young woman with fiery red hair and the ability to protect bursts of flame.
Wait, what? Wait, really? A woman?
I'm sorry, to project bursts of flame.
Let me see. Heat stroke. You gotta let me see this.
What?
She looks like Starfire.
That's like Jack Kirby shit right there.
Wait, is it Marvel or DC?
DC.
Is it Jack Kirby?
No,
I don't know. Yeah, he probably did something.
It just lurks. It lurks.
It's of the time.
Like when I did that Comic-Con HQ thing, it was nothing but me fucking up names.
Really?
Oh yeah, it was a problem.
Why?
Because I have a problem with names.
Maybe you're like name calculic.
What's that?
It's like dyslexia, but it's for people with names.
Name calculic?
Yeah.
You made that up.
I made that up entirely. Because there's dyscalculic, which is like dyslexia for numbers. So I was like,
what's calculic?
Dyscalculic is like when you're like, you know how with dyslexia, they're like, I think an A is a B. Where it's like, they're like, I think a 6 is a 9.
Oh, shit,
that's
really?
Probably
that's
not
real?
it at all. They're like, you fucking bitch, that's not what I got.
I want you to say dyscalculic as funny as you can, in the funniest possible way.
Too much pressure, dyscalculic.
Can I try?
Yes.
Dyscalculic.
I was actually just thinking this yesterday when we were driving past. I think it was a Valvoline, and you were like, "You've never said the word Valvoline before."
Oh yeah, it was like a gas station. Yeah, with the fucking V.
Yeah,
dude, I don't even.
No one's ever said that.
Yeah,
out loud.
no one. I've got to go to Valvoline later today. What is it?
Valvoline. It's like where you go and get oil and stuff and put it in your car. Yeah. But no one's ever said Valvoline to you.
No. No one's ever said, like, you know what? You should go to Valvoline if you want to. Like, I couldn't even tell you what the fuck they do at Valvoline.
It's such a good word, though. Apartment building, first time ever.
Really? Is it nice?
Yeah.
It's a nice spot?
I just went right in. Yeah. You know when we went to go see Spider-Man Homecoming?
Yeah.
I came back and they were about to tow my car away.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me that?
Because I was too busy in the
Or you
moment with
forgot.
other stuff.
Yeah.
And
Like your car being towed almost?
No, like other stuff was happening. I was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
But I thought it was funny as fuck. It was like as soon as I got there, like they were about to roll it on. And I was like, oh no.
Fuck, I didn't know.
I wasn't upset though because like, if they had got me, I guess I would have been upset. If I had to, because if they take your car in, like it gets a boot on it, right?
Well, it depends. They can either do the boot or they can tow you to a impound lot.
And you got to pay like $500 to get it
something
out.
like that.
Man, I just parked in the wrong spot and went to see a movie.
I know, man.
But
that's how the city
traffic
makes
right
money,
there.
though. The city makes a lot of money that way.
Honestly, though.
Like a lot of people break that rule, and then it sucks. It does suck. Have you ever had your car towed?
No, I haven't.
Yeah,
no.
so that was the closest.
Yeah, that's the closest I've ever gotten.
actually never.
So I was playing Grand Theft Auto today with my friends. Hold on, I'm getting a phone call.
You can answer it.
Oh, I don't know who that is. Never mind. So I was playing Grand Theft Auto today, and my friend, when he was playing, he had a knife, and I was like, "You really just like who uses the knife on Grand Theft Auto?"
I mean, if you're a real bad motherfucker, you use the knife.
Then he started stabbing people, right? And I was just like, "Oh man, that's funny." And I was like, if in real life somebody started doing this with my friends, I would just run the fuck away.
Yeah, you wouldn't stand around.
But like, if I'm with somebody and she's like, "Oh, I fell," or "I can't run the fastest," then he's gonna start stabbing her.
Yeah.
And then I gotta like fight.
Yeah. You could run away too, but then you'd have to either maybe deal with the consequences, which would be either that person dies and that would be on you because you could have saved that person.
Yeah.
Or that person lives and they never forget that you ran
away. I know. Either way, you're fucked.
But I mean,
Either
if
way,
you try to save them, you could die yourself.
Exactly. Either way, if you are with someone else, if you love somebody, either way, you dying.
Yeah.
Either way, you're going to get stabbed.
I mean, the thing is like, unfortunately, in that situation, if you want to come out the hero, the good guy, you're probably going to have to die.
You're going to have to die. And that's why we love dead people.
But you know what's interesting? Like, I would probably prefer to be killed by a burglar protecting my friend or girlfriend or family member than like have a fucking really embarrassing heart attack on the toilet.
Oh, true.
You know what I mean?
True.
Because like we all die, right?
If he feels that.
I got bit by something when I was in Austin.
Yeah.
And there are 2 bumps on my foot.
Yeah.
And they itch.
Yeah.
And they're pretty close to each other. And you know what? I don't know what it is, but it still itches. It's still red. It's still raised. And I do a move which I like to call the crescent moon, which is, Will, you've had a bug bite.
Well,
you ever been bit by a spider?
The other day I was taking photos deep inside the park. And I made the mistake of going back home and getting inside my bed. All night, I itched and scratched. I had to throw out those sheets. I was being bit by something. My arm still has 3 holes in it.
Is that true?
Yeah, it was like 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
And when you threw out your sheets, did it go away?
Oh, wait, no, I didn't throw them out. I just washed them. But it did go away. Yeah.
Well, you think you brought something home from the park?
I think I did.
You ever been bit by one bug and you've got one bump on you?
Yeah, man.
And it itches?
Yeah.
You ever do, this is what I like to do. I do the crescent moon.
Okay.
Which is you get your fingernail.
Yeah.
And you find the source. You find the hole that you were bit in.
Yeah.
And then you take your fingernail and you just gently push down onto the hole with your fingernail and create a crescent moon shape.
Wow.
Right on the hole, and it feels so good.
Fuck.
I'm gonna do it right now, okay?
Shit. Steve.
Into YouTube, very unusual instrument.
Yeah.
You'll find a clip which features Hauser. It's from California's Gold, and he visited a man named Joe Ronaldo, who owns quite possibly one of the coolest instruments I've ever seen in my life. and ever heard in my life, and I've always been fascinated with them. And here's just an example of what that sounds like. Now, I'm only giving you half of the experience because seeing how this instrument is operated is like almost 70% of what makes this so amazing.
Okay.
But
is
the
this
music,
something you want?
This is something I want. It is something I want so bad. And here it is. And you'll be able to hear Huel in the very beginning, but here it is. Here's the video with the instrument.
Hit it, Joe.
This is purely wacky.
It's the wackiest.
Like, if your son has this and he's practicing, it's terrible.
Yeah.
I have to see what this looks like.
Basically, what you're seeing is an old man sitting at what looks like a giant piano, but it's like a contraption that is like...
Can I come over there and look?
Yeah, come over here. Here. Oh, no. Now we're getting... There you go. Okay, so here, I'll keep playing it.
Oh, wow. I like that you have to pull that down. This is beautiful.
This is just
so he's doing all the sounds.
He's doing all the sounds. Well, except the piano is playing
by itself.
It's a player piano, yeah.
But he's pulling all these like.
But he's pulling levers and hitting switch, and there's a horn he's honking.
You know, this is what I imagine is inside Club 33 at Disneyland.
Dude, there is actually one of these at Disneyland. This particular instrument is called an American. What is it called?
It's definitely
American photo player.
American photo player. It's pretty cool. I dig it.
It's kind of like one of the earliest player. Like you've seen a player piano.
Oh yeah, yeah. Those are really cool.
Those are very cool.
Player piano.
No way.
Yeah, it's really
I want
cool.
a player piano so bad.
Yeah.
Fucking Delman and Lee have a player piano.
Yeah, do that? Yeah.
They totally do.
Isn't that the Show Me the Cops piano?
Yeah, it totally is.
Yeah.
It is the Show Me the Cops piano. But.
Yeah.
Dude, I want one so bad.
You should get it.
They're just the problem is that not only are they like impossibly expensive.
Of course. And it's huge.
It's a huge piece of equipment. And not only that, if you find one in working condition, most of the time it's going to be like either from a museum or someone's private collection and you'll never get it.
Yeah.
You
And
could
it's got to be
find
lubed
one that's like in disrepair.
Yeah.
But like, fuck, man, I wouldn't even know where to begin to repair something like that.
I need to someday. I hope to have enough money that you could just build whatever you want. You need to become an Imagineer.
I mean, the thing is you can. So I've been looking into busker. What are they called? Busker machines. And they're basically those, like, you've seen the cartoons where the guy, like, is turning a crank and there's a monkey dancing with the guy and it'll play, like, little calliope music out of it, like, or whatever. So there's Busker Oregon. That's what it's called.
Busker Oregon. Okay.
And I've looked into, like, getting one. And there are people in Europe that will build custom Busker organs for you and then either send you a complete Busker organ or send you pieces of a Busker organ and you put it together.
Get it.
I've always wanted one, but it's hard to find them because a lot of them are like mail order guides and like old emails from like fucking AOL days. And
I'm in so much support of you getting all these things. Usually I would tell people like don't like try to use external sources to like fulfill yourself, but all the things that you search for are so uniquely you. I really appreciate it. That's you in instrument form.
I really do keep things that make me happy around. Like mostly the things that you see around are things that make me happy.
I think that's a smart way to live.
I really want one. I have this fun idea of like going on tour with something like that.
Oh yeah! You come out with that. If you're doing like an Elton John show and the piano is turning, but you're on
and pulling cranks and stuff. I mean, dude, this guy. If you watch this video, very unusual instrument.
Yeah,
you'll basically see what I want to be as an old man.
Yeah, it's a piano, like a grand piano, but it has a bunch of levers that make interesting sounds. I'm in support of that 100%.
There's also this one I found the other day. This video. This guy. He plays a Michael Jackson song on a barrel organ, which is basically kind of like a bigger. It's in between the American photo player and a busker organ, so it's like a little bit bigger, like almost like those popcorn machines you see at Disneyland. But listen to this fucking thing. This is, I mean, you recognize the song, right? Well. Yeah. So, but this is basically a guy rolling like a piece of paper with holes in it.
Yeah. Is he blowing into it?
No, he's just turning a wheel, and there's just like 1,000 pipes on the front of this thing, and it's just playing.
Doing the air. Okay, now
Dude,
I gotta look at this.
you gotta come look at this, because in this video you can find. I tweeted it out a while ago, but you can find it by typing in "a man plays smooth criminal on a barrel organ in a woodpile."
Yeah.
But it's basically like the earliest form of MIDI.
Yeah, the earliest form of MIDI. It really is.
But watch how fucking
It
crazy
looks
this
like
gets.
MIDI too.
Look at how much this guy is into it too.
Technically, all he has to do is turn that thing.
That's all he's doing. But he's actually pulling little levers too. I think it's like opening and closing certain pipes. Dude, but this thing gets crazy. Watch this. Look at the front of it. See all the pipes?
Yeah, it looks like an organ.
Yeah.
I'm so down for it.
Okay, watch this.
Yeah, it look the lines on there look like when you're playing a instrument digitally.
Check out this part. Here we go.
So what? This is like the bass notes, like the drum.
This is just every note you're hearing. These long.
This is very similar to what it's like making music.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
These are waveforms.
Oh yeah. Basically.
Yeah, I can read that.
This big hole is gonna be like. Ah.
What's that supposed to be?
It's supposed to be like fucking parts of the song that are going nuts.
This is really cool. Yeah, he is passionate about it. Thank you to whoever put the
motion stabilization.
on this. Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, it's
That
fucking
adds.
cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But I've always wanted one. I want a busker organ eventually. That's kind of like my next project, I feel like, whether I have to build it or buy it or whatever.
I think I broke your mic. It's stuck in between this.
You got it, man. Just go ahead and give it some ganas. There you go. You got it.
I'm in support of you getting that, Steve.
Thanks, Will. I really want it.
Anything you want to have.
You make yourself happy with whatever you want. I'm gonna get a fucking busker organ. You would never get a busker organ.
You would never get a busker organ.
You would never get a busker organ. And so that's fine. I get what I want. You get what you want. You might not want a busker organ for certain reasons. I want it for all the reasons.
But mine would be in my garage. Yours would be like your centerpiece of your home.
Mine would be on my coffee table.
I'm down to get a busted one and put it in my garage.
Yeah, even if it doesn't work.
Even if it doesn't work, I'm just like, oh, that's my busker organ. But you're like, I want that in my house and it works, and I come in and do this.
I like that bear paint. Is there a letter in there? You should check out the letter before anything else.
Amber Trading. Is that actually the
Let me
person's
see
name?
this.
I don't think so. That's not a letter.
There might be a note in here.
But it is Kid Fun. Making fun easy. Those things that you put in your mouth and they make the most beautiful
customer
sound.
contact Brian G. Parrish.
He didn't
There's
want
no
his
note
middle
in here.
name
It just
for
says
that.
thanks for
He
buying.
didn't want people to know he was a jewel.
What is it, Will?
It's those things, you put them in your mouth and they make those really nice, cool sounds.
What does it say on it?
Kid Fun, making fun easy.
Oh, I love these things. Dude, I love
This
these
is
things.
on that organ, and this is like a
Yeah, it totally is.
Yeah.
See, I can make my own American photo player.
You know what I have been fooling around with lately?
What?
I put on a lot of like ambiances in my house, and one that I fool with is tank drums.
Oh yeah, you want to play with the tank drum here?
Tank drums are always cool.
I have to pull it out. I had to put it away.
Why?
Because it's just there's no room in this place.
There's no room.
There's no room for anything.
You needed a countertop from Stranger Thing.
On my wall, he's actually the kid from Stranger Things, Strangers of Things, Strangers of Candy, from the movie It.
Oh yeah, I still
it's
haven't
that
seen
kid
that movie.
who's
Yeah.
in It. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play for you also a little bit of Huell Hauser, just so you can get you can get Huell Hauser, some of Huell Hauser. Here we go. This is the best of Huell Hauser tribute.
Now we're in for a treat. This is magical. Oh, wow. Look at this. Look at this. What's going on over here, Mom? Look at that thing. Boy, this thing moved. Wait a minute. Look at this. Oh,
He just went up to a guy eating. He went up to a guy eating a hamburger and said, "Wait a minute. Look at this.
Look, it's his hamburger.
Yeah, that guy's hamburger that he's eating."
I know everybody at home now is just glued to the television set. What's the big deal out of me just stepping right?
Well, it's not a legal entry point into Mexico, and technically it's a violation of going to Mexico not through an entry point that's authorized.
Am I in Mexico now?
Well, we need to get you back, but yes.
What really caught my attention was the huge, beautiful outdoor pool. Oh, there's Neptune over there. This pool.
Yeah, he's just excited about everything. This is apparently the best Huell Hauser quote.
Yeah.
Well, this isn't exactly the way I thought we were going to be starting off this adventure, but here I am standing on top of a big old pile of, well, this is horse manure, and there's a whole field piled high with horse manure. Tosh, tell us what in the world we're looking at out there. Why did you bring us down here to all this manure?
All this manure. Yeah, as soon as he speaks, his voice is embedded into whoever's listening.
He's so wonderful. He was a treasure. He passed away.
Oh, it seems like it.
Yeah, he's an old man. He died.
Yeah.
He died alone.
I like the way he speaks. People appreciate people who, when they speak, they don't sound like they're thinking.
Yeah.
Like
I always have an appreciation for people like that.
Yeah, let just speak.
The black boxes basically on the side. So I guess like the phone isn't. Oh, there's my. There it is. Will you keep him entertained? Here, I'm gonna play this.
Boy, hey guys. Well, okay. Let me just be honest with you. Before I came in here, I started to feel a little bit emotional. I was driving on the freeway, and as I got off, I started thinking about my life. There was a man who was a veteran, and he was on the side of the highway, and he was begging, and it made me really think about how that's a real thing that's going on in the world, and what can I really do about it in my life? You know, these people really fought for the country, and so then I found parking right in front of Steve's place, and I was like, that's never happened before.
Okay, so I just got the new.
Box.
I got the iPhone 8.
What a coincidence!
I like that bear painting you have.
I know,
it's
dude.
So good,
dude. It's when I saw it, I was like, he's the one.
I want that one when you die. Can you have it when you die?
For sure. If I pass away, go for it.
So
it's
this is a living will right now.
That's my living will. You can have that. I know Morgan wants that one shirt I have. That's like she can have it.
Does she want one shirt from you?
Yeah, the shirt that you had. You were like, I have that same shirt.
It was like a button up.
Yeah, it's a button up. Yeah, it's like a.
It's like a Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, she said she wanted that. She could have that if I pass away. Steve, you know how you have these babies here on this table?
Yeah.
I realized that you also have more.
There's babies everywhere.
Do you see what the funny thing about these babies are?
There's like only black and white babies, but there's more white babies than black babies.
No, not even that. So okay, now
some of them don't have heads.
No. Now I want you to hold this. Look at this black baby.
Okay, I'm looking at this black baby.
And look at this other baby. So look at the hair on the black baby. And look
it's bald. It's like not painted.
No, that baby looks like a white baby, but they painted it entirely brown.
So they just used the same baby mold.
They messed it up because you see the hair on the other one, it's black baby hair.
Oh, should this be the black baby?
Yeah, but they painted it white by accident.
Wait, are they all that way? I bet there's some.
They're all like that.
There's some black ones that have this their hand up like that.
I'm looking at it, and all 100% of them, all of these, they're all done wrong. I thought it has to be on purpose. This is like freaky. They're like, dude, there's all of these. Like, Look at it in
Get
the jar.
these goddamn babies away from me. I don't want them.
Why
anymore.
is that on purpose?
It seems like they were made in a factory where they don't care.
Well, yeah. Class ended, and it was time for lunch. I politely asked the teacher if I could stay in the computer lab during lunch to type out an essay for the next period. The lonely woman happily replied yes. I quietly typed out my English essay as the teacher sat at her desk in the back of the room and tapped away at the keys. I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to go ahead and eat my lunch for today. I know it might be impolite, but I can't ignore the tummy grumbles for too long, she proclaimed from the back of the room. Oh, please. You can eat your lunch. I definitely don't mind, I happily replied. She got up from her desk chair and walked over to the windowsill. She carefully caressed the small leaves of the potted plant. She then walked back to her desk and pulled a small fork of the lower drawer. She then walked back to the windowsill with a seductive slowness, as if she had to convince this plant that it belonged to her. She gently raked the dirt around the base of the plant with the fork. She then picked up the potted plant and took it back to her desk and started eating it as if it was the most normal thing she could do. I quietly stood up and left the classroom, scared for my life. I could hear her quiet moans of oral happiness as she placed the foliage on her tongue. I went to the restroom and stared at myself in the mirror. I was a changed person. I didn't recognize myself. It was like a subtle PTSD. It was then that I decided I was going home for the rest of my high school experience. And brother, I did.
Hope you like that little story. I wish it was fictional. I really do. Unfortunately, it's true. Now, let's get to Dave and Ross.
I have no idea what I just read. And it was real. I didn't think, whatever I read, I thought it wasn't real. Whatever it was really happened.
She was eating the plant.
He says his teacher ate a plant. What?
What? Like, really? Your teacher ate a plant?
Ate a plant.
The soil and everything. She gently raked the dirt around the base of the plant with her fork. She then picked up the potted plant and took it back to her desk and started eating it as if it was the most normal thing she could do.
That's what she said, yeah.
I mean, that's amazing. That's amazing that you...
I want to believe it. I really want to believe it.
I mean, I'll believe it. On the Instagram. Well, guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode. I just want to say...
William Haynes at William Haynes.
Will, where else can they find you?
At Mr. William Haynes.
And how do they listen to She Didn't Text Back?
On iTunes.
On
or
iTunes.
Spreaker.
Or
I'll
Spreaker.
post it onto my page.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, Will, thank you so much for being our guest host.
And you're a good friend, Steve. I love you more than most people
I've
met in my life.
Will, that's so sweet.
I get 90% of my personal attention from you, so.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for listening. Will, thank you for coming. And I hope we see you again soon, Will.
Okay.
Take care, buddy. Bye, Will.
You're hilarious. This and that one too, or just this one?
This one's mine. I bought it.
This is an incredible slide whistle.
You should do
This is an incredible one. A ghost. Dude, you gotta make cartoons.
I'm gonna make cartoons, bitch. So I thought it would be great if we had one of our wonderful friends, a person of color, Mr. William Haynes, on the show. And if you're watching the video version,
We'll just be interviewing William's triceps today.
Will, you know what, man? I used to think that you were just skinny ripped.
Yeah.
You know how like you're so skinny you can see the muscles, so it looks like they're strong, but it's really just that you can see the muscles.
Yeah, that was my entire childhood. Yeah.
But now you're actually ripped.
Yeah, I've been eating food. That was my biggest issue is I would do so much exercising and then I would go to like Taco Bell once a day and that was all I would eat.
Like you're not Philip Molina ripped.
See, Philip Molina is like...
I'm terrified.
I mean, I could still beat his ass, like, if it came down to it.
No, you could not.
I guarantee you, Steve, crazy beats big every time.
I mean, but look, dude.
Every time.
I mean,
is Philip trained in a discipline?
Let's get Philip on right now and ask him if he thinks he could beat up Will.
I hate that he took this from me. I don't know how he got on the show in the first place. I was the and now everybody's like, forget Will, Philip Molina.
Listen, Phil all the time.
Yeah, I'm also like, I sent you photos like a couple weeks ago looking at my face. I'm like, damn, I'm really a man now.
You are. You finally become a man, Will.
Yeah, I'm like, I'd be looking at myself in the mirror and I'm like, oh, yeah, definitely not a little boy anymore. So,
you thought that not being a virgin anymore would make you a man, but it turns out it was just time.
Yeah, it took time. It took time. Stuff had to happen to me. And, so, I try to make it my duty. Like, I was at my friend's house once and there was this guy there who was like really rich. He was from a really rich half black, half white family. And, his dad is black, and I guess his mom is white, and he looks white, but his brother looks black. So I'm at my Trump support family's house, and my friend's sibling said that, I don't believe white privilege exists. And I was like, did you really just say this in front of me? I'm always taken aback when people really have the nerve to say that kind of shit. And before I could even say anything, my homeboy, he was rich. He drives a Tesla, and he's like, he brought up, he was like, but when my brother, who also drives his fancy car, when he drives down the street, police officers pull him over, and they never pull me over, and I'm speeding. And I was like, I really appreciated him for having that conversation because he really didn't have to. And and how are you going to make change if you don't go into these people's lives and talk to them? If you say, oh, you believe different than me, I'll never speak to you again, you're not going to make any change.
Right. Unless it's something like a close friend who's been antagonizing you throughout the entire Trump administration.
Well, yeah, you and I have had a lot of conversation about those. We've all learned about the people and the people we were talking about just before this. There are some people here that aren't young, like many of my friends, and who aren't going to change their ways. And it hurts because we have had to sever ties with some of them.
I mean, I'm lucky that
And I've said I was sorry a million times.
I'm lucky.
Your apartment for months.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you.
Yeah, we got to normalize people changing. But what's so funny about people talking about, like we were saying, Steve, about 2020 being like a movie, and I see that all the time, like people are like, oh, the aliens are up next. Like, that's so funny. But like, how a movie works or a good movie is like, you have your beginning and then your inciting incident and then your middle where your chunk of stuff happens. And then towards here, like it gets really interesting and like, oh. And then there's the ending that, is manufactured to make people like it and want to watch the movie again and again. That's not the movie we're in. No. It just keeps getting bigger.
We're in like the second act forever, pretty much.
Yeah. It's a movie written by someone who doesn't know how to write movies.
Right.
And they're just like, what's going on? More and more like, and then there's a pandemic, but then, and then the race, and so yeah, it's a really bad
It's
movie.
One of those movies where I go to see it, and then I go, man, that was like really fucking intense and really sad and fucked up. I'm never seeing that again.
Yeah, I don't want to watch it again.
It's totally like the Joker. Like it's like I don't ever want to see it again. I don't need to see that.
Well, and we don't get to.
Yeah. I really had to put down, Twitter and social media over the past couple of days because like the amount of clips online. It's just because, you know, Twitter doesn't like, you know, censor itself like Instagram. Twitter's just showing me the police brutality, you know, people getting, you know, shot in the face with rubber bullets, you know, people who are running away getting shot in the back. You know, it's it's a shame that it's taken having cell phones being in this high quality for people to finally be being held accountable. And, you know, we don't know what the justice system is going to do. They've just been arrested. The court hasn't passed any deals yet. So we don't know what's going to actually happen. But it's taken this much. It's taken the country is not at work. So we're all have the time to focus on one thing. And it's taken all of this just to get a couple of people arrested. So, yeah, I'm just very curious about the future. We have to keep applying the pressure and, make sure that justice is shown, you know?
And it shouldn't.
And I think also, like, what I've thought about over the past couple of days is I was like, you know, what we don't have, like, what that I think people are sort kind of looking for, and what it would definitely have is if it was a movie is like, we don't have, like, you've heard people say we don't have a leader, you know, there's no leaders. Like, we don't have a Martin Luther King, a Malcolm X, a Barack Obama.
Right.
But right now, it is the people versus, the oppressors. So, like, you know, we are our own leaders, us on social media, you know, I mean, that you see, they point out the people out there in the streets who are actually out there doing something. Like, it is actually the people who are the leaders. We don't have one paradigm like a movie would say, like, this is the guy or the girl who knows everything and is going to take us to the promised land. It is us, the people, together applying the pressure on the country, on the government, on the system, to hold people accountable for murder.
What's that?
It's weird that the system is the one that's out of touch. You know, when you have people setting up what is it, the eight guidelines? Did you guys see that? It's like the 8 police guidelines to make sure that I don't remember exactly what it is, but it's like police guidelines that I think were brought forth by people. Like, you shouldn't do this, 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 and that. And you can still apprehend people and stop people from doing wrong. But these 8 things are things that are abuse of power. And then there's a website that you can go to check and see if the city, check how many of the 8 things your local police enforcement does or doesn't do, or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, when I was a kid,
and it's just weird that,
when I was a kid, like, I was involved in a youth center called the Rise Center, and we did a lot of activism. And in the front of our office, you know, they had, like, you know, condoms, and they also had, like, know your rights books. Like, they were like, if you're going to be in the street, this, like, a little booklet that's, like, tiny that has, like, if a police pulls you over, you have to have that warrant, you know, if they come to your house. Like, we would keep these books, like, you know, 10, 15 years ago in our pockets to know what our rights was in the world. And now that type of knowledge.
How old were you?
I was like,
how old were you when did your parents have the talk with you, or did your mom have the talk with you about, like, how to deal with the police as a Black person?
You know,
specifically?
Really? No. My parents are, like, ridiculously hands off. Like, I think you know, like, I'm like, people always say that I'm really well spoken or so, like, it was never a talk that I had, but at the Rise Youth Center that I went to, we would have all of these, like, you know, seminars led by youth, talking about the cycle of violence and, you know, police brutality, and people would come in and talk about their opinions. But this is what I had as a 14-year-old, 15-year-old in the city of Richmond, California, because it was necessary. So, like, I know kids on the rest of the world, this is like, you know, they didn't have like a 21-year-old teaching you as a 15-year-old about the cycle of violence, and, you know, bringing in leaders who've dealt with police brutality, like holding seminars. And at the time, you know, I was like, I'm here because I want to do DJ class. Like, why am I I'm like, we're sitting in here for an hour and a half, 2 hours. But now in the future, I'm realizing that knowledge was so very valuable. I mean, I knew at the time, but now I'm really...
I want to take a quick break so that we could do some ads, even though it seems as disgusting as possible to just start doing ads in the middle of such a progressive...
Well, you got to get money to donate it places.
Yes, exactly. So let's do that. But Will, I'd love it if you would if you wanted to work out a little bit. For some eye candy.
I was really hoping I can get a pump in really quick.
Yeah, if you wanted to get a pump in during this. For those of you watching the video version, you could check out Will do some. Here, I'll play some music here for us.
Get the bicep in the shot. What a well-defined bicep. Yep, there it is. Now, Will, is that 2 different globes in the background?
It is, and I do have a third.
Are they different? Is one Pangea?
One Pangea and one's with the Earth. I want it to be when this is all over.
Is it mostly blue? Or just one?
It's just blue. It's blue in California and Japan and nothing else.
Will, do you want to work out to this kind of music, or do you want to work out to this kind of music?
Yeah.
Hey guys, we want to talk really quick about Figs. Figs is a great company that provides super stylish and super awesome clothing to nurses and doctors and other medical professionals. When the pandemic happened, the world basically changed overnight, and doctors, nurses, and other medical professionals immediately ran to the crisis. And since then, they've been working extra longer hours, distancing themselves from their loved ones, and risking their lives to save ours. I actually saw this thing that someone posted that I thought was kind of interesting. There was a post of how many convinced. I'd be like, oh, that's a feature. Oh, Will, I got one for you. I'll give you one of mine. Here, catch. But anyway, so it's really cool. And jumping rope is like, it's fun. Like, I don't know. It is.
It is fun, and it doesn't take long to, like, feel it.
Right. And then,
you could do it for 30 seconds and be like, okay.
Right. And the weighted ones make it even.
I still have your weighted blanket. Can't wait to get your weighted jump rope.
You can actually just twist it into a rope and use that.
Will's just taking all my weighted stuff.
I love weighted stuff. It's so animal.
Dude, it's great stuff. But anyway, okay, guys, let's talk a little bit about, really quickly, Crossrope. Crossrope is a new sponsor of Dynamic Banter, and I was like, what's this place, when I got that email? And I think Mike's going to go get his. Mine's over here too, but I don't want to get up. I've been stuck to this piece of furniture for 70 days. No, Alana, you're fine. She's so sweet. Alana popped out of nowhere and was like, do you want me to grab something for you? No, you're fine. But everybody's gone now. So cross rope. Is it? There's Will. There we go. Where'd you go? Get your jump rope? There we go. Mike's got a cross rope on his screen. If you're on youtube.com/dynamic banter, you can see. Basically, these days, we're all looking for ways to stay fit while we're spending more time at home, right? Cardio machines aren't exactly motivating, and the cost of home gym equipment, it adds up real fast. So we found a cool different way to get a great workout for a fraction of the cost, and there you go. Holy shit.
This is the least responsible thing I've done all day.
It's called Crossrope, you guys. It's a sleek, weighted jump rope system that makes working out fun at home. Wow, that sounds so destructive, Mike. I don't think you should be doing that in there.
This is the room with all my most expensive shit in it.
Guys, I opened up this package and I was like, this is like the Apple products of... whoa, I just saw a person go into that door over there. Oh, he muted his he muted himself. It was his mom. Okay. Sorry. Well, sorry, Mom. Features are engineered to help you achieve your best every day, whether you're working out or on the go. And targeted compression acts like a hug around the arch of your foot, keeping the sock in place and preventing snare.
Dude, you have no idea that there are slot machine YouTubers who all they do is
this blew my
go
mind
to slot
to
machines,
learn this.
and there's this guy, Brian Christopher, he posts 1.5-hour long live streams of him at the slot machines. And my mom loves it because she's been at home and she has a Roku and is like, what's what's on YouTube? And but she looks at it on my YouTube channel. She looks at it on my People Be Like account. So all of my recommended is Naruto, anime, Dragon Ball Z, MSNBC, CNN, Brian Christopher Sly. So I just kept seeing it every day that I was like in her watching it all the time. So I was like, I have to do this video about it. And I've actually, you've probably known Steve because I've been texting you about it, but like I've recently found this new like love for like making videos again all of a sudden. Like, you know, I really haven't made
it's
YouTube
nice
videos
when the pressure's off, right?
Yeah. You know, I wanted to be a late night talk show host for the bulk of my career, and now all of them are straight up making YouTube videos. Like, you know, my uncles watch all of them, so I get to casually see, like, you know, like Trevor Noah is like in a hoodie in his house. Stephen Colbert is just like in a room in his house.
SNL's been doing it all in
Do
their
they
houses.
ever turn around? Do they ever turn around and be like, "Will, haven't you been doing this for 7 years?"
I'm like, I have done every type of late night talk show that you could try. I've done it with money. I've done it without money. I've done it on sets. I've done it in my living room.
That was the best, man.
Yeah, that was really funny. The doing it in my living room really ruined my life in many ways, but it was yeah, I really didn't need to do that. And everybody told me, they're like, "Will, you cannot do a late night talk show out of your living room." And I was like, "Bull, watch me." And
and it ended up
That's
getting
a lesson
you evicted.
You learned by going through it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I actually do want to make a video about that because you might remember I had Mindy Kaling's brother on an episode.
Yeah.
Long story short was this during that time in 2018 was when I would watch CNN. I would only watch Frasier and CNN. I would not watch anything else. I wasn't even watching anime really. And
what were you getting?
I was going to do an episode about Mindy Kaling's brother. Yeah. He told me not to say the N-word. And you can see it in the clip. He just like, so what you can't see, and I'll talk about it in my video, is like, you may know Mike Falzone, like when my late night talk show, like behind the camera, I had like I'm the least intimidating black guy that was on my set. Like I had like probably like 5 other black dudes in the room with this that are all way more intimidating than me. And you know, like Filipino dudes and Mexicans. And he had the audacity to sit on my set and say to me, he was like, "Yeah, you guys shouldn't use the N-word." And I was like,
wait. He was trying to tell you that you shouldn't say it? Like ever?
This was not a part of why we had him on. And,
what was his reasoning?
I think he just came in with preconceived. He was like, you know what? Well, the reason I had him on was because I saw him on CNN from years before where he faked getting into college by saying that he was black with affirmative action. And it actually worked. But
does he look black?
He's Indian. He's really dark skinned, like Mindy Kaling. And I saw this clip on the news, and I looked at it. I laughed at it. I was like, this guy is hilarious. He totally ran a scam. And then I went to Anime Expo this year, and I was like, there he is. And I had just watched the clip, and I introduced myself to him, and he was like, "Oh," he was like, got recognized. So yeah. Then that was at the time that I was doing a late night talk show out of my living room. So I invited him on. And
wait, he was just there attending, or he was just a guest, or
this guy's getting into everywhere.
I asked him. I had to ask him once he actually came to my show. I was like, "Yeah, dude, why the hell were you at Anime Expo?" And he was like, "Yeah, I was there with a friend."
All right. And follow and support black people by following more black people. Look at your fucking follows. Look at your Twitter and your Instagram and your Facebook, and look in your friends list. Is there like barely any fucking black people of color in there? Follow more fucking people of color.
I'm just so tempted to make a video about being a professional black friend.
Dude, Will, you have been the token black friend to a lot of people in our friend group.
A lot of people,
and that's not okay.
Paid me money, I would literally started writing the video, and I was like, you know, my job is like, I'm a host, I'm a comedian, I'm a musician, but what I actually get paid to, what people pay me to do is be a black friend. So, yeah. I have a perspective on it, but I feel like, you know, I'm always seem to get in trouble. Every single person I've ever worked with, except for like Casey Neistat, as I had to like be like, Will. So
easy, Will. You absolutely should, though, dude. That's a perspective that you have that not many people have, and that's a very interesting, very like potentially educational and comedically rich point of view to have, and you should absolutely do something with that.
I appreciate it. Okay, I'll do it. Thank you, Mike.
Everybody,
and I'm sick of being everyone's Italian friend.
I'm sick of being everyone's definitely hardcore Mexican friend. So listen, the last thing I want to say.
I mean, maybe they like my like comedians.
I only live once, you know. It's your mom. Oh, hello.
Hi.
That's Mike Falzone.
Oh, okay. Do I know him from a TV commercial?
Yeah, the Geico caveman.
You guys ready for him back in LA, right?
Oh, yes. Please.
Yeah.
We miss him.
Get him out. Get him out.
Hayate.
All right, mommy, go sit down, mommy. Go, don't leave the house. Okay?
She just kicked you out, Will.
Goodbye. Great to see you. That was a nice little cameo.
All the time.
She's done with you being in the house, dude.
Yeah. I can't wait to get out of here.
If there's anything you want to say at all, you can just.
In my opinion, what I take from this time right now, if you want to be helpful and you don't have any money or you don't have any influence, just listen. You don't have to post nothing. All you got to do is listen and hear into the voices. I think people get like so piled on of talking into their bubbles by like, seeing all the tweets, and everybody's tweets are getting so much favorites because we're all talking to the choir. If you're like a person that's just taking in all this information for the first time, don't rush yourself to go out there and say something that you might regret. Just listen. And and donate to the Black Lives Matter campaign in George Floyd.
Absolutely. Thank you, Will.
And where can people find the stuff that you're putting out now?
I'm gonna we really cannot do People Be Like for multiple reasons, and that's what I've been I made a bunch of videos for William Haynes TV that are gonna come out within the next couple of weeks because I have to do something. And subscribe to William Haynes TV. Follow me on Instagram at William Haynes. I'm still gonna come out with a lot of stuff. I still feel this need to entertain and storytell and create. I remember when Trump got elected, I said the art that's gonna come out of this time is gonna be great. And So, I'm going to make a video about how I met Donald Trump, actually talking about it for the first time and telling a couple of stories that people don't really know behind that. And I'll talk about that on my channel since I can't do stand-up about it.
Struggling. And one final thing, you can go to blacklivesmatters.carrd.co, which I'll share in the description of the podcast, and we'll put it on the YouTube video. But it's the easiest way to see where you can help. It's a collection of many things: petitions, texts, text motivations, donations, resources for if you're planning on protesting, what to wear, what to be prepared for, if there are rubber bullets, if there's tear gas, how to get tear gas out of your eyes with water and mixtures, and very important things, what to wear. It's very important if you're going to be out there in the front lines and fighting with your fellow Earthlings. But please go to that site in the description to donate, to help, to sign petitions. Now's the time. It's easy as fuck to sign a petition. It's easy as fuck to text a number in support. It's easy as fuck to make a call, even though calls are weird and strange and you don't want to talk to someone that you can't see or don't know. And it's easy as fuck to donate even if you can't help, because there's ways to donate by just signing petitions and shit. And there's donating by sharing links, which is an interesting thing. There's many options to donate without money. In fact, I'm looking at one right now. You literally watch a video that I'm playing right now, and it's how to financially help Black Lives Matter with no money. It's and the ad revenue to this video, if you watch it, goes directly to donating to organizations that in like Atlanta Action Network, Columbus Freedom Fund, all these great resources. So there's no excuse. There's free shit, there's petitions, there's things to donate, there's money, whatever you have. If you have strength, if you're living and breathing, and if you're listening to this, we need you more than fucking ever. This has to stop. This needs to change, and it starts with us. So please take care of yourself, and please donate, and please love and have empathy, for fuck's sake. Mike, anything else? Will?
I wanted to say real quick that for sure, Will, and you know the door's always open for you to come on whenever you want. I miss seeing you every day, selfishly, and I can't wait until you're back. It seems like your mom wants you out of the house, so I can't wait until you're back. You know?
No, they love me. They know I
quick that. You know how you could save your stories sometimes, and you put them up in the little bubbles of your whatever. I did a couple pages of just Black comedians that are friends of mine that you could follow, that people that you may not have necessarily heard of before, but that are fucking awesome and good friends. So go do that. And that's pretty much it.
That's awesome.
For me. Oh, also, like, not all of if you want to get out physically, there are many, many peaceful protests as well. Not every protest ends in tear gas and flashbangs. And I went to one yesterday that was relatively small, but like it's weird to have the National Guard at your back, and like people are making jokes with the National Guard and stuff. And it's so weird to be screaming about the police with somebody with an M16 right behind you. But it's important, especially like we were saying at the beginning of the show, if you're not super comfortable and have never asked yourself certain questions and have never put yourself in other people's positions before, you may never fully understand, but it does give you a little taste of, you know, just what people have in the back of their minds at all times. And it's important to make your voice heard somehow, because there's a lot of people who need your help. And think about, you know, if you needed help, you'd want people to listen at the very least.
Absolutely.
So that's it.
Awesome. Well.